What's your take on this whole beer bug thing?
Well, I think that initially you didn't know what the hell was going on. So you had to sit there and say, okay, we need to look at the data. We need to look at the R naught value. We need
Dude,
to
that's
look
exactly
at
what I did for the first 3 months. I'm like, okay, let's see the numbers come in. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, that's right. But I even at the height of my concern, and this was way before the normies, let's say, got concerned. I'm talking about January, February of 2020. Not April. I was concerned then, but even back then, when I would go on podcasts, I'd say, listen, we need to be concerned with this, but the one thing we don't want to do is get the government involved. The government needs to allow people to make their own decisions. If you want to stay inside, you go ahead and stay inside. What we don't want is the government coming in and locking people in their own house at gunpoint, or taking their businesses away and doing all of these draconian measures, because once
you want a big fat red pill on people and humanity and society. I was watching this show on Netflix, basically about psychopath leaders around the world. I can't remember what it was called, but one of the things they said in it that really stood out is that human beings love being ruled. And I was like, oh shit. I had to like rewind that for 15 seconds and then play it back. I'm like, he's right. People love being ruled. Like they want a fucking ruler. And it's just bizarre to me, man. Cause I mean, like, it just doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. I look around the world today, and there's a lot of opportunity, but there's a lot of things to be concerned with. And at some point in time, we're going to have to pay the economic fiddler. And I don't know how much further they can kick the can down the road. The problem is,
you feel like it's, it's supposed to collapse at some time though, right? Like you're like, really, like it's still going down the road.
Well, there's that saying that the market can remain irrational way longer than you can remain solvent.
Yeah, you're right.
And so, but see, the thing is though, just because they can kick the can down the road doesn't mean that you should bet that way. Bet as though they're going to be able. It's like blackjack. When I first started playing blackjack, I was doing it to help train my kind of investing mind to think in terms of probabilities. So you sit there and you've got two people at a blackjack table. Let's say I'm paying with someone who doesn't know what they're doing, and they've got a 19 and they're going to hit because they think they're on fire, right? And I'm like, oh no, you don't want to do that. That's not a good play. You want to stay.
You've seen 3 2s in the last like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and like, oh, George, you're fear mongering. I'm on fire here. And let's say they hit and they get a 2. Did they do the right thing or the wrong thing? And I would always argue they did the wrong thing, because if they continue to bet that way, they're going to go bust. And it's the exact same thing today with buying stocks or certain assets that are in massive, massive bubbles. That yes, the bubble can continue, but it doesn't mean that you're making the right investment decision by buying now. Just because your portfolio goes up doesn't necessarily mean that you did the right thing. You could have just gotten lucky. You could be a part of a bubble, because even if you think you made money in the short term, if you continue with that strategy, you do not have an edge. You have a negative edge, and at some point you're going to lose.